Ooh, welcome everyone to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean Stacking the Money Green. Give me a follow over on Twitter at Sean T. Green. And as always, the Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE and the $10 bet turns into $200 in free bets. If either team scores a touchdown, restrictions apply. Good for college and pro football. What a day for college football. I had a blast. Fortunately, picks not as entertaining as just, living it up, having the college football experience. Shout out to Texas A&M, Aggie Land, great host, had a ton of fun, a ton of great food in the tailgate. I was just walking around rocking my Texas A&M shirt, and everyone's just like, hey, you want food? I'm like, yeah, I want food. Gave out a bunch of beers, shook a bunch of hands, and shout out to Brett Jones, listener of the Daily Juice. We're just sitting there, in the end zone seats there. Got some decent seats. It was a fun game, and we were talking like, hey, what do you do? Oh, actually, I host a podcast, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, wait, Sean, Stacking the Money Green? And yeah, so that was cool. He's a big Daily Juice guy. So shout out to him. Shout out to the entire Daily Juice audience. You guys are the best. bettingpros.com/chat, Discord, always a good time. And Brett, if you're listening, shout out to you. Sorry, I think he bet Texas A&M at +3, so he got the push. I gave it out on the show at 2.5. Hopefully, if you guys tailed, you got the push there because they lost by 3 against Ole Miss. But Brett, hit me up. Get you a hat. Appreciate the support of the Daily Juice Podcast. So I like this show because it kind of feels like Fight Club, where all of a sudden you're just meeting random dudes. It's like, hey, wait, do you like to gamble every day? It's like, yeah. Okay, all right, you're cool. I thought I was the only one. It's like, no. Come down here in this, gambling cave and bet every day. Oh, awesome. All right. I'm amongst friends here. All right. Recap the rest of the games. Texas A&M, man, they were up at half and then just kind of sloppy. Just frustrating. I mean, the refs kind of boned them on some of those calls, but man, just sloppy play, honestly. I do think that quarterback has some potential, so we'll see. It's just obviously clearly not A&M's year. I thought this would be a nice spot for them. And, I didn't think Ole Miss had that bounce back in them, and they really shouldn't. Texas A&M should have got that win. Almost had a chance to get that, to send it to overtime. It got real late, so interesting, fun game to go to. Oklahoma State, man, the spread was like 2 points, 1.5. They lost 48-0. There were some interesting results on this college football slate, but to me, that one's right up there. I mean, Kansas State putting up 48, shutting out Oklahoma State. Crazy. I did not see that coming at all. Syracuse lost, didn't cover, obviously, lost outright to Notre Dame. And speaking of falling apart, Syracuse, man, fell in love with that team. They were ATS gods, and now it's just, they've just kind of lost it. One winner on the day, Penn State covered the 16.5 there, 44-31, backdoored it. Man, this game was so weird. It went from like early on being like, gosh, should have gave out the money line. Should have bet the money line. This is so easy. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my, we're not even going to cover 15.5 here. Got really, I'm like watching on the phone and then checking the scores. My buddy goes, all right, it's 30-24. I'm like, that's perfect. We have a Sean Clifford pick 6 on us, and we'll still cover the spread. That happened, and then they got 2 touchdowns. They were up 44-24. Luckily, Penn State got that late touchdown for the cover. Hey, you know who's better than Sean Clifford? Well, you could argue a lot of people, but Brandon Ayuk, certainly. You can get an autographed Brandon Ayuk jersey. All you got to do is go to youtube.com/bettingpros, hit subscribe, comment on this very video, and you're automatically entered to win a autographed Brandon Ayuk jersey, courtesy of Pristine Auction. Yeah, good times there. And turn on your notifications so you don't miss, hey, the email, the YouTube DM that says, hey, man, you just want a Brandon Ayuk jersey. You don't want to miss that. All right, 5 NFL picks, all 2-unit plays. First up, Bears catching 10 against the Cowboys. Love fading the Cowboys, especially when I'm in Texas. I mean, this Cowboys team, again, I am insanely biased. However, they just didn't look that good. Like the offense, is just not there. And Zeke is going to be out. Now, I know everyone says like Tony Pollard's better, but Zeke actually quietly had been playing pretty well past couple games. And I don't know if Tony Pollard is a guy you can just put the entire game plan on. And the running game isn't as effective as it's been. I just don't know if this offense is really one that's going to blow out teams, especially this Bears team. Like, this Bears team has confidence now. Defense playing pretty well, getting a little bit of pass rush. The Bears got rid of Robert Quinn for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're seeing something from these young guys, or maybe he wasn't fitting in with the locker room anymore. Either way, I wouldn't be shocked if they get a little bump, with the new guys getting some playing time. Because I think Robert Quinn's a fun flyer for the Eagles. Really didn't give up much, but for the Bears, I could see them getting a little bump. I just don't think this Cowboys team is a team that can lay double digits. Even though they are at home. And the Bears offense finally seems decent, and it seems like they figured out, hey, this is what Justin Fields is, this is what he can do, this is what he can't do, and customizing the offense to fit that. All right, I'm going Cardinals on the money line, plus 163 over on Bet Rivers, going up against the Vikings. Vikings, to me, are just 5-1 coming off the bye, but they feel like one of the more fraudulent teams. This is a great spot, I think, for this Cardinals team to surprise them a little bit, catch them off guard. I know everyone's worried about Kyler, the new maps, the new worlds. Where we dropping, boys? Let's meet up. Multiplayer mode. I don't understand gaming, but he's had the long weekend to focus on his video games. Hopefully he got in a full week of practice, and they're coming off that Thursday extra rest. It does seem like teams early on, it didn't seem to impact them as much, but I think as the season goes along, you can see that extra rest you get for the Thursday night game kind of helping. And then really the trends of Arizona on the road with DeAndre Hopkins, this team is a different team. Now, I know most of that win against the Saints was because of the pick sixes, but I think they got a little something going with their offense. And you saw how much better their offense is with Kyler and D-Hop working together. And Justin Jefferson, obviously he's very good, but he just hasn't been getting the touchdown. So I don't know. This is a fun little dog here on the slate. Next up, Patriots laying 1.5 over at the New York Jets. 2-unit play. All these are 2-unit plays. Get that over on Unibet. First off, the Jets, you keep saying to yourself, how is this team still winning? It's all Breece Hall. Breece Hall is carrying them with these explosive offensive plays. Certainly their defense is playing really well. Sauce Gardner is playing really well. But Breece Hall is putting the team on his back. If Breece Hall wasn't on this team, they wouldn't have. I don't think they would have won these past few games. And unfortunately, everyone knows he's done for the season. That's huge. Like, Michael Carter is a solid running back, but he didn't have those explosive plays that Breece Hall, I think, had. And Breece Hall had 15 plays of 10 yards or more. Like, those are game changers, especially for this Jets offense. I think they're really going to miss him. And they also lost Elijah Vera Tucker, a very versatile offensive lineman for the Jets. And then it's just Belichick versus the Jets, 34-10 straight up. Now, some of those are with Brady, but or a decent chunk. It's just personal for Belichick. He beats two teams all the time, the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. He's not going to look past this game, take them lightly in any shape or form. And Belichick, 34-15 ATS after losing as a favorite. So give me the Pats laying the small number there at -1.5. Steelers at Eagles. Go Birds. I'm taking the Eagles laying 10.5. Now, I'm usually hesitant to lay a big number with the Eagles, but I think this is a good spot. I think you're going to see a return to a little bit more of an aggressive passing style for the offense coming out of the bye. And, the Steelers historically with Tomlin have been good as a dog, but you saw how they looked against the Buffalo Bills. Now, maybe the Eagles aren't the Buffalo Bills, but they still are undefeated. They don't have Josh Allen, but, you saw what he did to the Steelers defense. I think we're looking at a really big game from Jalen Hurts and the passing game, tons of potential, and Eagles get a lot of pressure. So I think Kenny Pickett, rookie, against this defense, the way this defense is turning people over. Kenny Pickett's interception line is set at 1.5. I think that's all you need to know about this defense, and the odds are they're going to create a bunch of turnovers. I think that's how you're going to get that double-digit cover. Next up, last pick, Giants at Seattle. taking the Seattle Seahawks -3 for 2 units over on DraftKings. Again, the Giants are another one of these teams. You just keep thinking, how are they winning? How are they winning? It makes no sense. I think that kind of their luck runs out. It can't go on forever. And this is a really, really tough spot for this Giants team. They had to travel down to Jacksonville, then back to New York, then all the way out to Seattle, where it's always a tough place to play. Matchup wise, Kenneth Walker has the perfect matchup against this Giants defense. You saw ETN run all over him. I think Ken Walker is going to have a massive game. And you look at the Giants offense, they're essentially running like what feels like a college offense. You see like these power I formations. You see like stuff that looks almost like the wing T, a lot of quarterback designed runs. Who is better equipped in the NFL than to shut down an old school college style offense? A guy with a crap ton of college football experience, Pete Carroll. So I think this is a great spot for them. And again, Giants also missing Evan Neal, and the offensive line has quietly been a nice surprise for that team, as much as it pains me to say it. And last but not least, Geno Smith is incredible against the blitz. Giants like to bring the heat, but Geno Smith's been great against the blitz, completing 73% of his passes with a 7.2 yards per attempt when blitz. So Giants at Seattle. Seattle -3 there for 2 units. And then I also have Eagles -10.5. Patriots -1.5. Cardinals on the money line +163. And Bears +10. And you know what? Since I'm a gambler, let's go. Let's do a little, just between you and me, the Fight Club. This is the Fight Club portion of the show where I get real and talk about the degenerate stuff I'm getting down on. Give me the Bears money line and the Arizona Cardinals money line, right? Because if you like a dog in the NFL, you should like it on the money line as well. I didn't price this out before the show, so apologize while I vamp and pull this price up. But I was like, you know what? Should I do this? And then I realized, hey, I've been meeting some of you guys. I get the feeling you're not afraid to listen to a pretty sweet parlay, aka the Bears and the Cardinals moneyline parlay together. This is going to be pretty fun. All right, so $100 bet, and I'm putting it over on WinBet. $100 bet pays $11.35. All right, that's a nice little Sunday sprinkle, maybe we should call it there. Sunday sprinkle. I'll play it for 1 unit because I'm still living off those Juwan Jennings return. So 1 unit parlay, Bears and Cardinals money line. Seattle -3, Eagles -10.5, Cardinals on the money line, Bears +10. Hey, follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Of course, betmgm.com, promo code JUICE. And follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check me out on my other show, the Sports Gambling Podcast. You know what to do. Subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.